lot about the fight against hunger during the holiday season, but that battle goes on all year long.
In this morning's edition of Making Milwaukee Great, Nate Custer shows us how Hunger Task Force works with food pantries to feed Milwaukee.
When you don't really have what your child is asking for, it kind of breaks your heart.
Megan Hilliard and her son Jonathan have an all too familiar story. Just an average family doing their best to make ends meet. It's a task that's sometimes harder than it ought to be.
Be able to feed my family and not have that anxiety and depression and extra things that come along with kind of being poor.
Megan's hardly alone in facing the stress that comes with being food insecure.
Thank you very much.
That's why Hunger Task Force springs into action, collecting food through efforts both big and small the entire year.
We organize food drives and then we organize events. And so there are food drives that happen throughout the year. If you've ever gotten into the Wisconsin State Fair or Summerfest for free, if you've ever gone to an ethnic festival and gotten in a certain window for free, it's because you were donating to the Hunger Task Force.
Last year, Hunger Task Force distributed more than 10 million pounds of food to people and organizations that feed the hungry. Organizations like the Jewish Community Center's food pantry in Milwaukee.
Hunger Task Force is really our key partner. They're the organization that we know every time we open our doors, their truck is pulling up with really important basic food for families.
Of course, before that food can be delivered by Hunger Task Force, it has to come from somewhere.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
It's kind of a crazy process, but you pick up a can of food and you give it at a food drive or at the grocery store, and that's going to come to Hunger Task Force. It's going to be in one of these big bins behind me. Volunteers are going to come to Hunger Task Force, sort it using our sort line. It's going to go into our inventory, and then a pantry coordinator is going to order that food.
We caught the massive food sorting process with our cameras as volunteers rolled up their sleeves to help divvy out the food that then gets loaded up on the trucks, and those trucks then deliver their cargo as well as peace of mind to families like Megan's.
For me and my family, it's made a huge difference, especially on days where, we run out of food stamps or food share money. Having a child, that can happen very often, especially with the cuts that have been going on.
Megan told us she's looking forward to a day in the near future where she won't need to lean on the from Hunger Task Force. But for now, the generosity of others means not having to choose between eating and keeping a roof over their heads.
Thank you.
Donating food warms our heart because it really does help us.
The Hunger Task Force is making Milwaukee great.
The Jewish Community Food Center is partnering with Hunger Task Force for a comedy benefit.
And it's called Laugh It Up, and it features Howie Mandel on January 31st.
That'll be a good one.